Hello, 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 welcome to Firearms of America, and today we have another pair of Salomon boots or shoes to review, and this is Salomon Alphacross. Alright, these shoes right here, these trail running shoes, are for people that love speed. Yes, so if you don't have time to watch the whole review, keep in mind, I felt like they are running a little bit on the bigger side, on the larger side, so I wouldn't go with that extra half a size, which, you know, people usually get, especially in hiking. I always get half a size bigger, all my trail shoes that I get, all my boots. But this one, I actually probably, because I got them, at first I got them size 10. I would actually go probably not even 9.5 my actual size, but probably even the size 9, because the 10s were pretty wobbly. Okay, so other than that, this boot is great for what it is intended to do, but as some of you already know, this review is not just for what it is intended to do. This review is specifically for our ultimate survival section, meaning if this was the shoe that you put on, the very last shoe that you put on before you run out of your house because something bad happened and you need to get to safety, would this be a good shoe in all of these different survival situations, running, walking through different terrains, maybe even fighting, climbing, whatever you need to do to survive? Would this be a good shoe? So how do we do the judgment? Basically, we do it based on 8 different criteria. The very first one being the comfort level. In order to test the comfort level, I do a 3-mile run and then 5-mile walk right after. The total wear time is about 7 to 8 hours without taking these shoes, in this case, off. Okay, obviously, as you can imagine, running in these shoes, in this trail running shoes, is absolute breeze. First of all, they are extremely light. They're very, very, very light. The bottom sole is very flexible, as you can see, so it makes it obviously very easy to run properly without putting too much stress on your heel or on your ankle. They also do feature a very nice inner sole ortholite, which I absolutely love. A lot of Salomon boots, they do feature that ortholite, which takes a lot of impact. So even if you are running not very properly, which happens sometimes whenever you get tired, it still takes on that impact from the heel and from the, from the middle of your foot. Feels very good. So on the comfort level, they are definitely very comfortable, as long as you get them in the right size so that your foot does not wobble around. Now, this is really one of the shoes from Salomon that I have not felt that wraparound feeling. They do have boots out there with that SensiFit technology, but a lot of their boots, even without that SensiFit technology, it still feels like the boot is wrapping, or the shoe wrapping your foot and holding it tightly. This is not really the case with this shoe, so I'm a little bit disappointed in that area. Now, if you've never had Salomons before, if you never experienced SensiFit, you're not really going to be disappointed. You're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? No big deal. But if you did, then you might find these shoes a little bit on the freer side, or more of like a regular sneaker without that wraparound hold. So on the comfort level, I would give these shoes an 8 out of 10. Just because they are a little bit wider on the inside and don't give you that good support for your foot. Now, the criteria number 3 is the proofing and protection. They are not waterproof, so there isn't really any proofing to talk about. Protection wise, there is really nothing on the toe. It's just a very soft material, so no protection from the impact. The heel is reinforced, so you do have a little bit there. Obviously, your ankles are wide open, so no point to talk about that. Now, the bottom sole is their Contagrip technology, which is that 2 layers of rubber, a very, very hard rubber on the bottom, and the softer rubber on the top to give you that flexibility. And this bottom rubber right here will definitely give you protection from penetration if you step on a sharper rock or something like that. It will definitely protect you from that. Wouldn't risk it with a nail, obviously. But a sharp rock, it will definitely handle. So not much really to talk about in this criterion. Okay, let's move on to criterion number 3, which is a quality and design features. Now, quality wise, usually I rely on the reviews from Amazon, and these shoes do not have a lot, so it kind of makes me wonder if these are a newer Salomons that they just made. Now, with the design features, there isn't really much to talk about as well, besides what I already mentioned. You know, the ortholite, the Contagrip, the lightness of those boots. The strings are very basic. I kind of wish that they implemented either a BOA system here, or at least a pair of hooks on the top so that you can catch on. I'm not a big fan of flat strings in general, but because there isn't really nothing to catch them onto whenever you're tightening them, makes it kind of even worse. I'm not a big fan of the stringing part. Okay, so done with that, let's talk about the criterion number 4, which is the outsole traction and stability. Obviously, you already noticed how aggressive this outsole is. So, whatever it is designed to do on the trail, which is running on the trail, all of these grooves, they make it unbelievably easy and stable to run in the trail surfaces. And the trail surfaces I'm talking about can range from the dry leaves, from the wet grass, the rocky road, whatever you can find on the trail, this will handle very well. Now, here's one thing though that I wanted to point out here. A much more popular Salomon trail running shoe out there, the Speedcross. I actually tested that as well. I've done the review on that as well, if you want to check it out. I had a little bit of a negative thing to say whenever it came to the flat surfaces, because the groove on that shoe, they were actually shaped differently. They were the same, it was the same exact material, I'm pretty sure it was the same exact rubber, but because they were shaped differently, they were actually a little bit wobbly. It wasn't a problem at all on the trail surface whenever you're running, whenever you're walking on the trail, but whenever it came to the flat surfaces like tile, marble, you know, just a flat concrete, whatever, flat surface, kind of like this desk, you would get a little bit of that overslide because those spikes on the bottom, they would bend just a tiny little bit, but enough to give you a little bit of that extra movement that can throw you off balance. You never know. This is the good part about these shoes right here, is that they don't have that. Not because they're harder, they are still kind of soft, like you can feel them bending if you press on them, but because they're shaped this exact way and not just flat, they do not bend back and forth. So on the flat surfaces, you still get nice traction. So very nice. Good job, Salomon, with that one. You fixed that issue. Definitely fixed that issue with that. Now, I wouldn't say that it would be great as an everyday boot, obviously, because there's too much aggression. But they do feature some flatness as well, as you can see in between the grooves. So they do perform well on sandy surfaces as well. You don't dig in. Now, obviously, you wouldn't wear them on ice or snow just because you will freeze. And that brings us to the criterion number 5, which is the temperature. Obviously, very light, very breathable, perfect here for Florida. Again, no point of mentioning winter or cold temperatures because these are not designed for that. Okay, moving on to the criterion number 6, I wanted to point out again, just to make sure, they do, in my opinion, run a little bit too big. So keep that in mind whenever you're buying this trail shoes. Criterion number 7 is probably one of the most important ones. Is the balance of application. If that was really your last shoe that you put on before you ran out of your house and you have to walk for miles, run for miles until you reach the safety, maybe you have to fight, maybe you have to climb a tree or a rock in order to survive, would this be a good pair of shoes for your ultimate survival? I think there are certain situations where you might consider these. For example, if you live maybe in Florida, or maybe you are planning your ultimate survival, which you really cannot plan. But if you do have a pair of wintertime survival, and this is your summertime survival, maybe, because they will handle you through different terrains, you can definitely apply them for that. But here's the thing. I would say that if you do live somewhere in a rural area where there's more woods and more trails that you are planning your survival through, probably that would be better than an overall, because these are not really very good for walking on flat surfaces, because there's just a little bit too much aggression for that. And the very last criterion is the price. Now the price is a little bit on the pricey side for the trail running shoes. This particular pair in this size and in this color was $85.99 on Amazon. Prices always change, so make sure you click the link in the description below to check out the current price. But they do vary between $80 and $100 depending on the price and the color. So a little bit on the pricey side, but again, you get a lot of features. You get obviously light construction, you get the ortholite. So if you are looking to buy a good pair of trail running shoes that are not that bad on the flat surfaces as well, this might be the one. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about these trail running shoes? Salomon's, obviously they are very well-rounded company. They have great boots, great shoes, and honestly, I'll let you in on the secret. The contender for one of the contenders for the best so far ultimate survival boot or shoe on this channel that of all the boots that I have reviewed is actually from Salomon. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If you have any requests, also let me know. I will be happy to address them. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.